If you're a small business owner, there's a very good chance there's a silent leak in your business, draining thousands of dollars every single year. And no, it's not a bad hire or a failed marketing campaign. It's happening right inside your financial records. So what is this incredibly costly mistake? And more importantly, how do you fix it?
It all comes down to this number, $40,000. Now that's not revenue we're talking about, and it's definitely not profit. It's a loss, a significant and often recurring loss for the average small business. But where in the world is all that money going?
You heard that right. According to industry data, that's what the average small business in the US loses every single year, all from one thing: poor bookkeeping. I mean, it's a staggering amount of money. And you know what the most frustrating part is that it is almost entirely preventable.
So, the critical question for any business owner is pretty simple. How do you make sure your business isn't one of them? Well, the answer starts with understanding the true cost of financial mismanagement and, frankly, embracing a much better way.
Okay, so first things first, let's actually break down that $40,000 figure. It's not just from one big mistake. It's the result of a ton of small, compounding issues that quietly drain your resources and, honestly, your potential. That $40,000 number, it's really just the tip of the iceberg. The hidden costs run so much deeper. I mean, think about all the wasted time you're spending on admin instead of big-picture strategy. Think about the constant stress of not really knowing your numbers and all the growth opportunities you might be missing because your financial picture is just blurry. It leads to very real risks, too, from tax penalties to, worst of all, making huge business decisions based on faulty data. You know, the root of this whole problem is that for a lot of us, financial records feel like this unsolvable maze. But what if you could swap that maze for a command center? A single, organized system that shows you exactly where you stand at all times. To build that, we've got to demystify a few key pieces. Let's start with the general ledger. The best way to think about it is like the complete financial storybook for your business. It's not just some spreadsheet. It's a detailed narrative of every single dollar that comes in and every dollar that goes out. Keeping this story straight is job number one.
So how do you make sure that story is actually accurate? Well, we use a system that's been the gold standard for literally centuries: double-entry bookkeeping. It just means that for every transaction, there are two entries. Say you buy a new computer for $1,000, your cash account goes down by that much, but your assets account goes up by the exact same amount. This simple rule of balance is the foundation of financial integrity. It's what makes sure your books are always accurate and reliable.
And look, it doesn't stop there. A professional bookkeeper is managing this whole complex machine behind the scenes, running things like trial balances to catch errors early and organizing your chart of accounts so everything makes sense. They handle all these moving parts so you can stay focused on the big picture.
Okay, so how do we actually get from that state of confusion and stress to one of total clarity? This is where modern bookkeeping services have been a total game changer.
I mean, just look at the two realities side by side. The old way, trying to DIY your bookkeeping, is often just a stressful, time-consuming mess, and it's full of potential errors. The new way, with a professional service, is designed from the ground up to be seamless, efficient, and above all else, accurate. And we're not just talking about balancing the books here. A modern service can become your entire financial back office. They can handle everything from payroll and paying your bills to managing who owes you money and who you owe. It's a completely comprehensive and scalable solution. And this really sums up the whole philosophy, right? It's about combining modern tech with personalized service. So you get the efficiency of these amazing new tools, but with a real human touch that gives you complete confidence in your financial records. All right, so you've got clean, accurate data. Now what? Well, this is where the magic really happens. This is about turning those numbers into your most powerful strategic asset. Think about it like this. It all starts with managing your daily transactions with total accuracy. That data then gets compiled into clear, easy-to-understand financial statements. With those reports in your hand, you can finally make confident, data-driven decisions. And that frees you up to do what you do best, focus on growing your business.
And when we talk about those key reports, what are we really talking about? These are the vital signs of your business. The income statement shows your profitability. The balance sheet gives you a snapshot of your financial health, and the cash flow statement tracks how money is actually moving through your business. These aren't just documents, they're your roadmap.
And at the end of the day, all of this leads back to two of the most valuable resources for any entrepreneur: peace of mind, knowing your finances are in expert hands, and getting your valuable time back so you can focus on what truly matters.
Now, you might be thinking, I can work with anyone, anywhere in the world, right? And you could,
But there's a distinct advantage to partnering with a local expert. Let's take a firm in Kansas City as an example, to see how being rooted in the community really makes a difference. A local partner brings core values you can actually count on. They're reliable, they're responsive, and most importantly, they're knowledgeable about the specific tax laws and business regulations right there in your area. That local expertise is a huge, huge asset.
You know, a big hesitation for a lot of business owners is just the thought of the onboarding process. They're always asking, what do I even need to give you? This sounds so complicated. But the good news is, it's designed to be the exact opposite.
The reality is, the process is incredibly straightforward. A secure system is set up for you to provide access to your accounts, your receipts, your invoices, all of it. It's a simple, streamlined flow of information that removes all the friction and makes getting started really easy. And you can really see that commitment to the local community here. Whether you're in Kansas City proper, down in Lee's Summit, or across the state line in Overland Park or Olathe, a local firm understands the unique business landscape of the entire metro area.
And that brings us to the final and I think the most crucial point. When you consider that $40,000 average loss, the question completely changes. It stops being about whether bookkeeping is an expense. It becomes a critical investment in the health, the stability, and the future growth of your business.
So if you're ready to stop leaving money on the table and finally gain true financial clarity, the first step is just having a conversation. For those of you in the Kansas City area, you can reach out and start taking control of your financial story today.